And we are live. Welcome into the Expat Files, our show here on the Arena Productions. I'm your host, Expat. I am the host of the Arena Productions, the owner of the Arena Productions. So I want to welcome all of you over here on YouTube. And my guest tonight out here in Japan is my good friend. And he's my partner on the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. And he is my partner on a lot of stuff here on the Arena Productions. Yeah, a member of the Arena Productions, and he is a Twitch streamer. Burly of BurlyMenGaming. How you doing, Burly?
I'm doing good. How are you, man?
I am hanging in there. Of course, it is now almost 8:30 p.m. out here in good old Japan. So, I was working on the PC today, just doing stuff for the YouTube channel. I want to thank all of you over here on YouTube and Burly as well for all of the views and all of the support that you've been giving us over here on YouTube the past few months especially, and our latest video that we did on the Arena Extra Take for our Steam Deck review. I was doing very well as well, and we're going to be doing, of course, the next episode of the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast from tomorrow, episode 98, Burly. We're almost 98. At 100. Yeah, almost at 100, man.
Wow.
So looking forward to that. And so much other stuff that's going to be coming out. We've got our fantasy series coming up, the Arena Fantasy Discussion Portal. We're going to be doing shows on House of the Dragon. We're going to be doing shows on She-Hulk on the Marvelous Marvel Discussion Arena. Yeah, a lot of stuff. And of course, our Star Wars Republic show. We've got Andor coming up, which was supposed to be coming at the end of August, but it was pushed back a few weeks to, I think, September 21st. So the first 3 episodes are going to be coming out on that day. So we're going to be busy covering those for you as well here on the Arena Productions channel. And of course, the Expat Files is my show that we're doing vlogs. We're doing kind of a talk show format like we're doing here tonight. So, this is episode 3 of the Expat Files, where we're going to be talking about what if. So lots of what if stuff, Burly. What if? But before we get into that, for some of the people out here that are maybe watching for the first time, kind of give a little background about yourself. I mean, who are you? Where are you from? And what led you to the Arena Podcast and the Arena Productions?
Yeah, we'd love to hear from everyone.
Burly, did you hear me?
Yes,
my question.
Yeah. Who are you, and what you get in your background on the Arena, for the Arena production? So for me, I'll do me while we're waiting, seeing stuff. I am the co-host, one of the co-hosts of the Arena. I found this podcast because I was in the same Discord as you when you first were starting this up. Right. And then I remember I tuned in for the first episode and just kept tuning in. You brought me on a few times as a guest. We vibed well together. Yeah. AKA I bribed my way in.
You did not bribe your way in, Burly.
I know.
Not in the least.
You know me. I got to go for the dumb jokes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about the Expat Files. We can do dumb jokes. We can do anything here. This is about anything and everything. Of course, in this episode, we're going to be talking what ifs, but And for all of you out there that are viewing, leave us some, what if situations or scenarios in the comments. We'll try to read them and discuss them as well during this episode. So, I mean, Burly's a good friend of mine. I think it was around episode 30-something that I had you on for the first time. And then I had you on again for a couple of other episodes. And then after that...
I came like the first ever episode as a guest. I was like episode 6 or 7. I was pretty early on. I came on as a guest.
Right.
And then I became the most recurring guest because I don't know. I think I was just the easiest one to ever get in touch and available.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's we really clicked, and that's why I offered you to come on and be a co-host for each and every episode. So yeah, we're really glad to have you, and of course, Turn-Based Carl as well, our other co-host. So, which I'd like to have on an episode of the Expat Files as well. Hopefully, we can get him on soon, and talk about anything and everything besides turn-based games.
Good luck. You're gonna either have to give him turn-based game, State of Decay 2,
right,
or
right. All right. So this format about what if could be anything. Could be about sports. Could be about the world. It could be about anything. It could be about gaming. And that's what I want to talk about first. Let's talk about games because, of course.
Okay.
The Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. We are a multi-platform gaming news podcast, which, of course, our videos are here on the Arena Productions. And we like to talk about video games a lot because we love video games. We love to play them. And I want to show you something, Burly. And all of you that are watching, check out this image here. Do you know what this is, Burly?
I believe it is your Super Famicom, but it's the model with the PlayStation, isn't it?
That's right. It's the Nintendo PlayStation. Yes. This was the hybrid. This was what Nintendo and Sony were developing together. And obviously, when the optical drive situation broke them apart, this never came to fruition. But what if, Burly, and for all of you out there, what if Nintendo and Sony would have actually gone through with this? What if they would have been a team working together? What do you think, Burly? What do you think would have happened? What if they actually could have come to that agreement and worked together? What do you think?
Well, gaming would be much different. That's the obvious, easiest thing to say.
Yeah.
It's just like, because now, like, just imagine, but with now, if this would have gone through, I don't know if we would have gotten some great franchises that we know and love today, like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and all that. I don't know if we would have got those because Sony of America was out there looking for people, and they saw the PlayStation out there, and they made it easy access for people to get dev kits and all that.
Right. Yeah, I think Nintendo would have had Sony under their whim, I think, when it came to developing games.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I don't think Sony would have been able to come out with a lot of the great games that they've been able to come out with over the generations, because Nintendo, as you know, when it came to even third-party developers trying to create games for them, they had them under lock and key a lot. And they charged them a hell of a lot of money. So I think that's probably what they would have did with Sony too. But yeah,
well,
we'll never know. But,
yeah, we'll never know. But one of the reasons why this deal never worked is one of the things is Sony, because Sony had owned fits into the CD technology. Sony was going to get more revenue on the CDs base than Nintendo was.
Yeah.
And they were going to own some of the rights to that. So Nintendo was worried and scared of that. And that's why they end up going to Philips and having them make them something.
Yeah. And then that, which led to, of course, the creation of the PlayStation. And then, of course, PlayStation's first E3 conference, and Steve Race going up on stage and just showing up Sega. I'll always remember that. But just what if Burly, if Sony never made the PlayStation? I mean, that would have been interesting. So.
Well, I think Sega actually might still be around in the hardware market, Because there were two major reasons that killed the Dreamcast. Pirating was easy, and the PS2. When the PS2 launched, that thing just killed it. Yeah. Because of it having the DVD, it having all this stuff, it kind of made it hard for the Dreamcast to succeed.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's an interesting what if scenario. Do you have any other what ifs when it comes to video games that you can think of? Well, how about this one? I'll throw one more out there, and then after that, it's your turn. Okay.
Okay.
So, The Last of Us. Of course, there's a lot of people talking about The Last of Us Remastered and how it's going to be like a $70 game, and there's a lot of people upset about that. It's being remastered and all, and it's been out for a long time, so I don't think this is really a spoiler or anything, but I'm going to throw this out there. So if you have not played The Last of Us yet, you might want to mute your mic for a couple of minutes, because I'm going to throw something out here that, is kind of a spoiler when it comes to the story. But if you've already played the game, which I'm sure probably a lot of you have, but just a spoiler warning here. Okay, here we go, Burly. Mm-hmm. In The Last of Us, what if Ellie died and Joel survived?
Ooh. I think if that would have happened, Joel would go on a murder spree. Because after spending all that time and, loving her and making her his daughter, I think he would go on a killing spree.
Yeah.
I think so. Like, he lost his own daughter. He lost all hope. Lost his good friend Tess earlier in the game, trying to help Ellie.
Right.
So, losing that, he has nothing.
Yeah.
And you know what? And dealing with the fireflies in that game, and the fireflies are not being the greatest people ever.
Yeah.
I think he would just go on a freaking killing spree and just go nuts, and just kill as many of the fireflies and just kill everyone.
Right.
Until he got gunned down himself.
Yeah, I mean, because then there would have been really, unless there was somebody else out there that was immune to, the virus and all. I mean, it would have been like, lights out. Because, I mean, Ellie, in the sense, is the only hope at this point.
That's the only hope you easily know of just from the story. But if you read the collectibles in the series, there have been other immune, and they have tried this kind of thing, and they've had failures. So it's not like, as much as they want to put like Ellie as the last hope, you can, with the collectibles and stuff, they do world build on it and say there have been other immune, and they've tried stuff. The doctors have tried stuff, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on from gaming a little bit here. So, I mean, Burly, if you're a streamer, of course, you stream on Twitch, obviously. Yeah. So, what if you never would have got into streaming? What would you have done on like the platforms online to play games?
Ooh. That is a good question. I think I would still, if I did do streaming, I'd be making YouTube content. Because that's about the only other, of all the other like kind of platforms.
Yeah.
That'd be the one I kind of would gravitate the most to.
Right.
And just making Let's Plays, making my own reactions to whatever happens in the gaming world. Stuff like that.
Well, of course, I'm originally from, San Francisco in the United States, in California. I was a basketball player in college, and of course, I had a a major knee injury, which prevented me from becoming an NBA basketball player.
Oh God, you took an arrow to the knee, didn't you?
I tore my ACL and my MCL, Burly. Yeah, I was in rehab for like I was in rehab for like 6 months, and then I built up arthritis in my knee, and I couldn't run at the maximum speed that I was used to running at. So I had to go into the coach's office, and the coach said, sorry, and I basically lost my scholarship, and I had to work my way through the rest of school. So just think, what if I never would have had that knee injury? I probably would have been an NBA basketball player. And then, of course, I would have a huge, big mansion, and, I'd have millions of dollars, and I'd have my own huge, like, arcade, like in like several garages, and I'd have like my own, like, mini theater, like, but of course that never came to pass.
Have your 5 minutes in The Last Dance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, I never got a chance to meet Jordan. I actually met Magic Johnson, but when I was at summer camp in high school. But Jordan, I would have been playing during Jordan's time if I would have been in the NBA. So, but that was a dream that never came true, unfortunately. But yeah, and then probably, if I would have become an NBA basketball player, I would have never probably come to live in Japan. I probably would have never met my wife either. So, the situation was, I had to work my way through school, and I went to school in the evenings, and one of my classmates, my wife was her roommate at that time. And my classmate introduced me to her. So yeah, I was lucky in that sense. And I've, of course, lived out here in Japan for over 20 years now. And, I'm a teacher, but of course, and a content creator on the side. But, if I didn't have that knee injury, I probably would have been an NBA basketball player, and things would have been a lot different. So, yeah.
Just a little different.
Yeah, just a little different. Yeah, just a little different. But I did get some experience working in radio, though, when I was a basketball player during the off season. I worked at a radio station as an intern, KMEL Radio 106.1, with Evan Luck, who was one of the best DJs in the U.S. I mean, especially on the West Coast. He was originally from Chicago, and then he moved to Los Angeles, and then he moved from Los Angeles up to San Francisco and started working for KMEL. And I met him in one of the discos, and he said, "Hey, come on in, and I'll give you an internship over there." And I enjoyed working with him and having a great time with him, and learned a lot about radio. And I've tried to incorporate this into my content creation here. So this is kind of why the X-Files, or the Expat Files, I should say, not the X-Files, but the Expat Files, it has begun, is because of my experience in doing radio. So this is kind of, the Expat Files is kind of like a talk show style format when I'm not video blogging. So and I want to wish Evan well, because he's living in Costa Rica now, and he's still a radio DJ down there in Costa Rica, but he's in the hospital right now. He's had some surgeries, so a shout out to him, and I hope he gets better soon. So
hope he recovers soon. Yeah, that would have been cool to work in the radio industry back then.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I had a chance to meet a lot of, I got a chance to meet Mariah Carey. I got a chance to meet Mary J. Blige, MC Hammer, backstage when we did the KMEL Summer Jams out in the San Francisco Bay Area. Awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. I really, really loved doing that. And of course, we did a show called Love Lines every Friday night at a club called Club Mirage, which was in the south of Market District of San Francisco. It's funny, it's like during the day, this place would be like an antique furniture shop. And then in the late afternoon, they would move out all of the antique furniture into the back rooms. And because in that antique shop was a big bar, and then upstairs was like the sound system area, and that's where the DJs were set up in the evenings. And so Evan and I, on Friday nights, we would do Love Lines live from Club Mirage. And then afterwards, we would go to the bar, have some drinks, talk to the girls, and, you know, go dancing on the dance floor. And then after that, we would go from club to club to club, just bouncing from one place to the other. And then at like about 4 a.m, we would go to Chinatown and have breakfast. So yeah,
I'm just trying to picture, like, I could picture like the most antique places that, you know, I've been to in my life, where you see the stuff and it's got that thick layer of dust because this shit's never moved for years and it's never gonna move.
Yeah, well, all of this stuff was movable. Yeah.
Just that moving it, and then in the afternoon, evening, just like a party atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. I mean, it was in a big building. It was on the first floor of a big building in, South of Market area. And I just remember having a lot to drink one night, and I collapsed on the chair in the club, and a couple of security guys like drugged me out and put me in my car and threw my keys on the floor. And I woke up at like 7 in the morning, and it's like at South of Market, where these antique shops and everything were. The parking lots were completely empty, right? And so I like wake up, and it's like, where the hell am I? And it's like, oh, I'm still out near the club, and it's like there's nobody around. And technically I was probably still intoxicated, but I drove home, so yes, to all of you out there, don't drink and drive. So yes,
don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive, that's for sure. So yeah, it's like time just flies by, man. It's like, that was like 1990, 1991 when I was doing that. God. Yeah, a long time ago, man. A long time ago. But time flies. Time flies for sure. So.
Time does fly.
Yeah. So how about for you, Burly? Let's talk about something like maybe in your life you might have wanted to do something differently, but kind of life took you in another direction. So what if?
What if? Yeah. Early on, honestly, wasn't as much like, I was always, tech fascinated me because I do work in tech.
Yeah.
But actually, it was photography for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was into photography, but then just, I don't know, like once I got to high school, took photography classes, I enjoyed them, but not enough to make me be like, this is what I want to do for my life. Because part of the problem is like, you'd see that incredible moment, and I'd want to capture it on my camera and all that, but most of the time I would just get distracted by the beauty of whatever I'm seeing and being like, I'd rather just sit here and watch it, and instead of taking a photo where I'll look at it 5 times in my life kind of thing and just stick it back into a drawer.
Right.
Or on a digital thing on my phone that I'm transferring, but I'll never ever see ever again, but I have to know it's on my phone.
Right.
It's just like I just kind of like, that was the thing, like I would start to take photos and it's like it was just taking me out of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be kind of interesting to see if I would have done that instead of going for tech, where I would have went for schooling, changed, because I don't know if I would have gone to the city I live in here for schooling, Hamilton. I probably would have went to Toronto, the bigger city, and had way different experiences there compared to Hamilton.
Yeah. So for all of you out there that are watching this or might watch later on, one thing about Burly that really strikes me, and I have in common with him, is that he's a big fan of The Simpsons. And so when I first watched his stream a long time ago, it's like, he has all these like Simpsons clips in there. And I mean, here's a question for you, Burly. What if The Simpsons was never made? What animation series would you have turned to?
First off, Homer's scream here, right? Insert here. Just because that was just a huge thing of my like, we would watch it as a family, like just before, like as a kid. I grew up just watching it as a family. My mom would watch it. She wasn't too much of a fan, but my dad would just sit there and crackle and laugh, as well as me and my brother. Like, I don't know what I would use to pull. from what animation would it be? Because like
Futurama, because Futurama was around the time for you.
Yeah, I remember watching Futurama when it came. You know, I love Futurama.
Uh-huh.
I like it. It is a much. It tries to kind of slowly continue with the story, but still being the silly of the future.
Yeah.
I do like Futurama, but it never clinged to me as well as The Simpsons did.
Yeah. This isn't related to anime, but when I was, of course, going back to the time when I was, you know, like a basketball player and all, when I was in college, the big show on Fox was Married with Children. And if you remember Married with Children. And
Ed O'Neill.
And I played the University of California, and so we went down to Los Angeles. Of course, every year we would play at UCLA, and then UCLA would come up and play us. So we would play them twice a year. But of course, we had to go down to Westwood, you know, in Los Angeles, and play at at Poly Pavilion in UCLA. And like after the game, we would go to Burbank. And we would go to some of the live tapings of some of the TV shows. And we got to go and watch an episode of Married with Children taped and all. And so had a chance to say hello for like 2 seconds to Christina Applegate and Ed O'Neill. And this, you know, it was so cool to watch them.
All that.
I mean, and live too. I mean, like they would mess up or screw up and they would have to retake it and all. You know, it was like being taped live. So that was really cool to be sitting in the stands and watching them, you know, work and stuff.
Oh, that would have been cool to see.
Yeah, and then after the show, it's like we went outside, and of course, you remember Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right?
I'll just say actor, yes. Make this the conversation go.
Yeah. So anyway, we're walking outside, and we're walking across the the side of the building, you know, where they were doing the taping of Married with Children, and he's walking by himself out there, and I'm like, I just walk right past him, you know, and I'm kind of like, you know, like, hey. You know, and then he's like, hey, you know, just like walking right past each other. And then like 5 seconds later, I'm like, shit, man, that's Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know, and then later, of course, he was in, Star Trek 7, Star Trek Generations. He played the Enterprise B captain. Yeah, for the short stint, in that film. But I was like
5 minutes on that film, was it, or something like that?
Yeah, like 5 or 6 minutes he was in that film. But but he was the captain of Captain Harriman, you know, of the Enterprise B, you know. But it's just running into people. And then after that, about 20 minutes later, as we're in the downtown area, there's the leader of the Nation of Islam back in that time, Louis Farrakhan. He was having like a rally outside in the streets, and all of his Nation of Islam bodyguards, they were wearing like the suits with the bow ties and everything. It's like we're just walking right past them, you know, and everything. It's just like, oh shit. But it was fun. It was those were some great times, and Married with Children was one of my favorite shows back then.
Oh, it was a good show. It was a good show.
Yeah.
Show. I think it's actually on for anyone that wants to watch it. I believe it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. So good stuff. So so what if? So Burly, of course, you're from Canada. So and you know the show South Park, obviously, you know. And,
yes.
And you know the movie, the South Park movie, and you know the song that was in that movie, Blame Canada. Blame Canada. They're not even a country anyway. So what if America ruled Canada? How would you feel about that? I'm putting you on the spot right now, Burly. Yeah.
It can't be any worse than what we have right now. That's the sad. I know that kind of sounds wrong. I love Canada. I love the country, but
And I love America. I mean, I haven't been there since, like, I haven't been back home to the United States since 2006. So it's been a long time since I've been back home, but I still love my country. But anyway, go ahead, Burly.
More and more, my country is just things have changed over the last couple of years, and then with COVID and everything, and it's just, as me as a young Canadian, it's just like it's feeling less as a free kind of country, and now everything is just, it's just like if you stand with one side of thing and just say, I don't necessarily agree with this, you're instantly, I know it's also kind of like the US where it's like, oh, you mean you stand for that? No, I just don't agree with this one thing. So it's gone like nuts because now you can't have, you speak out on certain things. It's just horrible.
Yeah. I mean,
our government isn't doing well to unite people. It's more, let's divide people. And the media here in Canada, it is, most of the media here is all liberal based, and the Liberal Party's in charge. So like when we had our protests here in Canada, I'm not agreeing with every protest that went on, but some of the protests, they were protesting good things and good rights. I'm not saying every protester was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But they had that stuff go on, and the media just blaming everyone, blaming the people, this and that, and then like we were almost in certain parts of the country basically almost going to go into a police state. It's just like it's just sad.
Yeah, I mean, my parents and I, we really didn't get along when it came to politics. I'm more, you know, I'm a centrist, I guess, in a sense. I'm more liberal than I am conservative, but my parents were very conservative. They were Reaganites. My father's mother basically worshipped Nixon, you know, and so you could probably imagine the arguments that I would get into with my father, you know, when I was growing up and stuff, especially growing up in San Francisco, which is probably the most liberal city in all of America. But I mean, you know, when it comes to what ifs, I mean, just, you know, what if Kennedy was not assassinated? I mean, what would have happened in American history if that never happened? I mean, he probably would have been elected a second term. Probably America would have never gone to Vietnam. Yeah, a lot of things. I mean, if Trump wasn't elected in 2016, you know, and Hillary Clinton had become president, I mean, a lot of things would have been different, most likely. So, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things when it comes to politics and what if, you know, scenarios in our history, and I'm sure there are here in Japan as well as in Canada that, you know, you could have an interesting time discussing. But the last thing I want to talk about tonight, Burly, before we do sign out, is, of course, you and I, we do a show with Turn-Based Carl called The Marvelous Marvel Discussion Arena. And obviously one of the shows that we cover and is coming back for season 2, and it has already been re-upped for season 3, is, of course, Marvel's What If? So let's talk a little bit about some of the things we might see moving forward into season 2 with Marvel's What If. I mean, what do you think we might see? I think we're already assured to see Captain Carter again in season 2, but what other characters do you think are going to be coming back for season 2 of What If?
You're going to get that Doctor Strange, the one where he absorbed all the demons and creatures. I think you got to bring him back. Yeah. Whether I don't know if they'll do like they had the end of What If season 1 where they had the big multi-universe fight kind of thing, and they need to bring him back for that, or they just do another story with him. But I know they've got to bring him back because he was one of the greats. That was one of the best episodes of What If because I loved all the different, it played with every scenario. What if she doesn't go? She still dies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know we're probably going to see Kang again, because Kang is going to be set up as the big bad now moving forward, of course, for the multiverse saga. But I have this feeling, and this is the one thing that I hope they're probably going to do it, but I'm not looking forward to, is the zombies again. You know,
they're making a Marvel zombie show, so
they're making the Marvel zombie show, yeah. But
so I think they'll keep it out of What If.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe we'll see some other characters that we didn't see in season 1. Maybe we'll see Fantastic Four. Maybe we'll see the X-Men or something.
I was actually just about to say, I think they'll bring just to keep the fans kind of happy. John Krasinski, they'll bring him back as Mr. Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Whether or not the rest of the Fantastic Four will be there, I don't know, because that might just be. Whatever you do there might give people too much, hope and fire and want to go, this is the casting we want. They may just break him in, even if it's for like a 30-second little cameo, just a little wink at the camera. I think they'll bring him back.
What about Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, they'll do a Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just going to be sad because we don't have Chad McBoseman. So you can't do the Star-Lord T'Challa one.
T'Challa, yes.
Oh, yeah, I butchered the name. Sorry there.
That's okay.
See, because I don't think they'll do that. I'm just trying to think of what other characters that we could potentially get.
How about Miss Marvel? Because we just had her series, Miss Marvel, maybe even Moon Knight.
Yeah. I think we'll get maybe Miss Marvel. Moon Knight I'd like to see again. Or you know what? Bring back Ethan Hawke. Because I loved his character in Moon Knight. So you know what? Bring him, even if he's not playing the same character, just bring Ethan Hawke in. Add that star power to the show.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, we're going to be doing our recap and review of Thor: Love and Thunder this coming Saturday after the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. We're going to be doing our reactions and our recap and
your mic's
review of. My mic just went out?
Yeah, it just went all sputtery like that, like it has before.
I see. How about now? Is it back?
No, it's still doing it.
Still doing it?
There we go. Now it's back.
Now it's back. Okay. Sorry, everybody, for the little bit of technical difficulties there when it came to the mic. But I was talking about Thor: Love and Thunder. We're going to be doing our recap and review of that this coming weekend for all of you here on the Arena Productions. So please stay tuned for that as well. So lots of cool stuff coming up. So any other what ifs? Anything you want to ask me, Burly, before we finish up?
As for what other what ifs, none that I can think of off the top of my head. I'll have to definitely think for some future.
Okay.
Future.
All right.
But as for any other questions, no, I'm pretty good. I can't wait to see what we've got. Some of the stuff we've got planned in the pipeline in the near future for people on the podcast to check out. So please make sure you subscribe to the channel, so that way you get notified of what we got coming down live. And please, we also will be posting stuff to Twitter and stuff. So do follow us up on Twitter.
Yeah, and I'll be doing this show, the Expat Files, sporadically, and hopefully I'll have some more guests come on here, and I'll probably be doing some shows solo as well to discuss some news topics and other things related to maybe gaming and entertainment. But the Expat Files is pretty much about anything and everything. So, but tonight's focus was on what ifs. Not just Marvel what if, but what ifs. So anyway. All right, so I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Expat Files. I've been your host, Expat, and I want to thank all of you for coming out. And of course, like Burly was saying, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons and hit that notification bell for for notifications of future episodes when we put them out here on the Arena Productions. And of course, we also have a blog too. So over on our website, the Arena Productions website, so you can check out our blog, and I'm putting the link below here for you. So it's at thearenaproductions.com/blog. So you can go and check out our blog, and of course check out the website as well at thearenaproductions.com, where you can check out all of our information regarding all of the shows that we're putting out here on the Arena Productions. And of course we have forums there that we sporadically right now we're putting stuff on. It's a new website, so yeah, we're getting it up and going, and we got the blog going. So yeah, you can check out our videos there on the blog as well when they come out here on YouTube. So if you're on our website, you can check them out there as well. So
check out the website. You will not regret it.
Yeah. So, all right. So for my co-host, Burly of BurlyMenGaming, I've been your host, Expat, and we hope to catch you in the next episode of the Expat Files. So, of course, like I said before, the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast, episode 98, is coming out tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be going up, of course, in audio and video format to our Patreon. And then, of course, it'll be coming here to the Arena Productions the next day. So stay tuned for that. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, BurlyMenGaming. We hope to catch you in the next one. So take care, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Have a great evening. Have a great afternoon or morning, wherever you are in the world. And we'll see you in the next edition of the Expat Files. So take care, everyone. Peace out.